Hello, everyone, and welcome to the semi-monthly pull. I'm Captain Logan.
And I am the real Manos.
Manos, you're back on the show.
Yes, I have returned.
Manos, what is your first book this time?
All right, I am doing a couple new books. The first one is Madame Xanadu, issue 27, by Matt Wagner, as usual. And this issue is drawn by Celia Carlisle, and it's part of a current storyline called Extrasensory. This is chapter 4, but here's the interesting thing about it. Each issue centers on a sense, one of the 5 senses. And what's cool is they all are, well, none of them really aren't too really tied to each other. So you can actually read one and enjoy it and not even read the rest of the series.
Oh, that's cool.
And chapter 4 is dealing with touch, and it's called Don't Touch Me There. And it takes place in 1964, where this high fashion model named Neon Blue, and she is a succubus, and no one apparently knows that. And she's sort of part of this gang that's similar to Andy Warhol's Factory, and they're called the Foundry. And the art is amazing in this, actually. I've never seen this artist before. And it almost reminds me of a lot of art from the 80s, like Bill Sienkiewicz, when comic artists started to play around with what could look like comic art and still tell a story. And like the characters are all lean, and the panels almost seem longer than what the page should be able to hold, but it still fits in. And the use of color is really beautiful. And yeah, you could, if you're worried about the rest of the storyline getting into it, you don't have to worry. You can just jump on this one and jump off.
That's pretty cool. So,
yeah, I give this one 5 Rand chips.
So, like, what do they have to do with each other besides the fact that they're just like one of the senses?
That's the thing I'm curious about. The storyline isn't over yet, so I'm curious to see if they're all going to be tied in to the last issue, or it's just the theme Wagner's been playing with.
And they're just like a bunch of one-shots that's kind of a vignette thing.
That's what I think, but I'm waiting for the last issue to see.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, I really dig it. I'm really sorry the series is almost over with. It's going to be canceled in a couple more issues.
Oh, is it really? They're just not selling?
Yeah.
Because I know you've been ranting and raving about it for months.
Yeah, and it just hasn't caught on. And that's just how it goes. The original artist, Amy Reeder, I think is kind of been discovered by it, oddly enough. It's like when that actor is on a TV show that no one watches, but everyone notices him, and he takes off the movie career.
Right.
I think we might be getting that with her. She's going to be the alternate artist on Batwoman soon.
Oh, cool.
And she's been doing the Supergirl covers. Now, she's already off the book now, but she got her start here. And it's too bad. Wagner was doing a pretty interesting series with it.
I am going to start with Uncanny X-Force #1, and this is something that I didn't even know about and picked up because the guy at my comic shop at Pop Culture Comics asked me to pick this up and talk about it if I thought it was good. And lo and behold, I got it and actually liked it, thought it was good, so I'm talking about it. Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, really, an X book? No, I'm not just doing this because I was asked to. He was like, really, review it if it's good. If it sucks, don't review it. I was like, okay, I'll take a look. So here's the thing, though. This book has both Wolverine and Deadpool, and I still like it. And that's
wow.
I know, because the thing is, like Wolverine's oversaturated for me, and Deadpool is doubly oversaturated for me. And it isn't that I don't like those characters, of course. It's just that I feel like they have to be in everything. And this is a case. This guy, I don't know him, but Remender, this guy knows how to write both characters in such a way where they feel like they ought to be there. And it's cool. Where like Wolverine feels like 90s cartoon Wolverine in this to me, and that's and that was exciting. Like he sounds like old school Wolverine, and he's back to that I'm the best at what I do and that sort of thing. And so I'm liking the way he's being written. The other thing too is that it isn't like just throwing Wolverine in a book just so that people will buy it. He's actually like really integral to the plot, and Deadpool is also, and he's funny in a way that works with this book, where like he doesn't feel like he's standing out, where like nobody else thinks he's funny. And I like that. Where like he keeps saying something, I was like, it's Deadpool. God, it's freaking Deadpool. And of course, if the jokes are funny, you as the reader are going, God, that's funny. These people like they need to lighten up, you know. And but like he's got this great joke. I'll spoil this joke real quick. In the middle, he pulls his swords out, and he's about to rip the this guy to pieces, and he tells this joke, and he says, how do you kill a circus? He says, go for the juggler.
Oh.
And I just love that. I was like, that's hilarious. Anyway, I quite like that. They're starting a big arc here with Apocalypse, and I always like Apocalypse, so it's cool to see that happening. It looks like they're going to do a really weird thing with it, with the last panel on this. And again, I'm recommending this, so I won't tell you everything that happens in it. But basically Deadpool gets kind of sort of kidnapped by one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, you get kind of by war. But I think the deal is like he tried to kill Deadpool, but Deadpool won't die, so he only kidnapped him because he wouldn't stay dead. I think is kind of how it went. But anyway, and then of course, Psylocke is a big major player. She's one of the team, and then so is Angel, and trying to not be Archangel, and that whole thing is interesting and working for me. And I don't know, this feels so far removed from the rest of Marvel right now. I think that's a lot of what I like about it. It feels like this like totally other universe, and it really sucked me in. This coloring there's something like really dark and mysterious about it, but there's a lot of like purples and pinks throughout the book, and so it feels it's got this really interesting kind of mystical kind of vibe to it. So anyway, I'm totally recommending that.
Wow, I do think that it is possible. Well, the problem with Deadpool and Wolverine is they're so often not written as characters anymore. They're almost like corporate mascots.
Yeah, and not in this.
Yeah, that's cool.
At least not in my opinion.
All right. Let's see. So I got my second book.
Yeah.
And I have another Vertigo book. It's American Vampire, issue 7. Written by Scott Snyder, and the artist is Raphael, and that last name is quite difficult. It has 2 Q's in it.
Wow.
So I'm not even going to attempt to.
You always seem to get the books with the people that you can't possibly.
That's true. I mean, it seems like DC is like hiring people from Afghanistan to draw comics.
Well, they're good.
It's like, yeah, well, he's good, so okay. He's 3 Q's and a Z, and okay, but no offense, but it's a blicker. I'm just gonna sound like a dumb guy if I try to pronounce it. I'm too American for my own good. All right. Actually, this is a book that Lindsay's been talking about and telling me I should check it out, and I decided to pick it up this recently. I had to read issue 6 because issue 7 is the second part of a 2-part story, and I'm still kind of slowly getting into it. And actually, speaking of Americans and Western culture, this is what the series is basically about. It's the separation in the vampire world between the classic European vampires and these new breeds of American vampires, and how they are setting themselves up in this world. Excuse me. And the first story arc had to do with them, and the second story arc, which I'm just starting to read, deals with the humans in this world, and it takes place in 1936. The storyline here is, I think this is called, let me go back to this page here. It's, let's see, Devil in the Sand, and it's a murder mystery concerning a big wig putting together, I think this is the Hoover Dam, actually. And there's a whole bunch of politics going on behind the scenes with putting it together, and I think working with the vampire race. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I'm really interested. There's and also there's a cliffhanger of this vampire who's supposed to be like the most deadliest vampire in the world, and she's just some cute woman just with this guy. So, and it's very, and also the art by Raphael is quite good. It's got that kind of rough looking, half independent, half mainstream look that I like kind of seeing in my Vertigo books. Um, and it's got a nice 30s feel. It does look like the era from time to time. And yeah, I'm liking it. I'm very happy with it. I'm probably might be picking this up, depending if the rest of the story arc is good. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a solid 4 RAM chips.
My last book for this time is Action Comics number 893, and this was a book that I started reading, with the beginning of the Lex arc, and thought that it was dragging on too much, so I wasn't going to keep reading it. But then people kept telling me more good things about it, and after the first couple issues, it really picks up, and now it's quite good. I really like, by the way, that now they've got this saying Lex Luthor's Action Comics at the top instead of just Action Comics, like starting Lex Luthor. I just think it's great. It's like now Lex owns Action Comics because
he finally took it over.
It's great. So Lex has been looking for a Black Lantern ring, which I thought was odd to begin with because, he was an Orange Lantern in Blackest Night. And I was like, why is he looking for a Black Lantern ring? And I'm still wondering about that. But anyway, so he's found, I guess he figures he can just do more things with a black one. I don't know. But anyway, so he has discovered this, space-time, anomaly that has been created by the existence of the Black Lantern rings. And so he's investigating that to try to, help him find one. And somebody else in the issue prior to this also found that and built this whole laboratory around it to study it himself. And it turned out to be Gorilla Grodd. And they keep using all these great old characters in this that I'm always like, oh really? And then they do really fun, awesome things with them. So Gorilla Grodd, of course, being like crazy, awesome intellectual that he is, decides he has to be smarter than he is already. So I don't know how this is working, but he keeps getting like brains of like famous scientists and like really, really smart people. And then he eats them, and then it makes him smarter. And when he eats them, he gets all the knowledge that they had. So he finds that Lex is there. So of course he wants to eat Lex's brain. and I won't tell you how Lex gets out of it, but it's awesome. And other than to say that there's a really nice bit of continuity where Lex mentions that he does the same thing as something that he did in Last Stand on New Krypton, which I also read, and it was a really cool callback, and I loved it. Anyway, this thing takes a really weird turn at the end, and you got to read this. It's really interesting. And I can't wait to find out where it goes because it's really bizarre and cool. And I don't know, Lex is so totally awesomely full of himself, but I love it because like he's really full of himself, and then he does something where you go, okay, that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like he wants to rule everything. He wants a Black Lantern ring, but he's also kind of cool. So I don't know.
That's one of the things I kind of like about Luthor. He's never been my main favorite villain, but I've always really enjoyed him. And I'm actually been putting this aside in my pull list. I'm just going to wait until the story arc was done. I'm actually going to buy this whole story arc.
Good, you should. I think you'll enjoy it. And he's got a Lois Lane robot that he runs around with, which I didn't like at first, but now I like it. I think it's fun. He likes Lois so much he built him a robot.
That doesn't make sense to you? But hey, do you want to not talk about the cameo at the end of this issue?
At the end of what? Action Comics?
Yeah, this issue.
Yeah. Right. The Jimmy Olsen thing. No, because we're
no, the other character that shows up.
No. I didn't want to reveal it.
Okay, let's not reveal it. But the fact that character and Gorilla Grodd is in the same issue just is amazing. I just think that's brilliant.
Well, Manos, unfortunately, we are all out of time.
Okay.
But thanks a lot for listening to the semi-monthly pull, and we'll see you again next time. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Real Manos, and I will be back once again.
Yay! Bye.
Bye.